As part of the India 2.0 strategy, Skoda VW have been launching a variety of cars based on the MQB A0 Iron platform developed specifically for the Indian market. The first car was the Skoda Kushaq, the second car was the VW Taigun, the third car was the recently launched Skoda Slavia, and this right here is the fourth car, the Volkswagen Virtus. How different is the Virtus from its cousin, the Slavia, and how different is the Virtus from its sister, the Taigun? Well, let's find that out, but before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the MotorBeam channel. The Volkswagen Virtus is 340mm longer than the Taigun and 20mm longer than the Slavia. Meanwhile, the Taigun is 8mm wider and 105mm taller than the Virtus, while the Slavia and the Virtus have the exact same width and height. All the three cars have the exact same wheelbase of 2651mm. On the Taigun, you get 16-inch tires on the lower end variants and 17-inch tires on the higher end variants. On the Slavia, you get 15-inch tires on the lower end variants and 16s on the higher end variants. On the Virtus, you get the same tire size as the Slavia, but there's a high possibility that VW will offer 16-inch tires right from the base model. All the three cars here have a very different design language. The Volkswagen Taigun looks clean and it has a typical Volkswagen face. The Taigun also isn't very big, it looks quite small and compact. Meanwhile, if we talk about the Skoda Slavia, it looks understated and Skoda has added some premium touches to the car, and it is overall a good looking sedan. It looks very proportionate, but there are no visual differences between the 1-litre TSI and the 1.5-litre TSI variants. The Volkswagen Virtus, on the other hand, looks sportier compared to the Slavia, and there are a lot of differences between the 1-litre and the 1.5 TSI variants, like the black roof, the lip spoiler, the black alloy wheels, and the red brake calipers. The Virtus GT also has a red theme on the inside compared to the regular 1-litre TSI variants. The Volkswagen Taigun has a ground clearance of 188mm, while on the Slavia and the Virtus you get a 179mm ground clearance. Now, because of this ground clearance, both of these cars aren't exactly low-slung sedans like the Honda City, and thus on bad roads these cars shouldn't pose a problem as well. Ingress-egress are also quite easier on the Slavia and the Virtus compared to the likes of the Honda City. The Volkswagen Taigun has a very compact boot of 385 litres, but when you fold down the rear seats, you get a massive 1405 litres of cargo capacity, while on the Slavia and the Virtus, you get 521 litres, which is bigger than the Honda City, and with the rear seats folded, you get 1050 litres. On the Taigun, you get a fuel tank capacity of 50 litres, while on these sedans, you get a fuel tank capacity of 45 litres. In terms of safety features, these three cars are more or less the same. Now, on the lower end variants of these cars, you get dual front airbags, while on the top end variants, you get 6 airbags. Other safety equipment includes ABS with EBD, brake assist, EDL, MCB which is multi-collision braking, ASR, hill hold control, ISOFIX style seat mounts, and a tire pressure deflation warning system. These cars also get a brake disc swiping feature. Since all these cars come from the same family, all of them are offered with a standard warranty of 4 years or 1 lakh kilometers. The build quality and the fit and finish is more or less the same on all three cars, but yes, on the Taigun and the Virtus, it is slightly noticeably better than that of the Skoda Slavia and of course the Skoda Kushaq too. Now, in terms of features, these cars are very nicely decked up. You get a 10.1-inch screen for the infotainment system, you get an 8-inch fully digital instrument cluster, and you get the usual features like the sunroof, the keyless go with push button start feature, automatic climate control, and front ventilated seats. The Skoda Slavia also gets some simply clever features like a toll receipt holder in the front windshield, elastic bends in the door pads, and a mobile phone holder in the back of the front seat. These features are missing on the Volkswagen Virtus, while on the Volkswagen Virtus you get LED lights as standard on every variant, and you also get 8 speakers as standard on every variant. Now, on the Volkswagen Taigun you get 4 speakers and 2 tweeters. On the Skoda Slavia you get 4 speakers, 4 tweeters and a subwoofer, while on the Virtus you get 4 speakers and 4 tweeters only. There doesn't seem to be a subwoofer on offer with the Volkswagen Virtus. The screen is exactly the same on all three cars. It is very smooth, the user interface is brilliant, and the sound quality is actually decent on all three cars. But yes, on the Skoda Slavia I found it to be slightly better than that of the Virtus. One small thing that I noticed in the Virtus is that for the front ventilated seats, both the buttons are located on the right side of the gear knob, while on the Skoda Slavia you get a single button on either side of the gear knob. Now, the thing with the Volkswagen Taigun is that the variant distribution and the feature list is a bit complicated. So if you buy the top line variant with the 1-litre engine, you get each and every feature, but if you pay a premium and buy the 1.5-litre engine with the manual transmission, then that variant is actually based on the Highline trim, so you lose out on features like the digital instrument cluster, LED lights, and even a push start stop button. So yes, all these features are missing on the Taigun 1.5 manual. Even the design of the alloy wheels is different. You get simple looking silver colored alloy wheels. The variant and the feature distribution on the Virtus is expected to be much better than that of the Taigun. Now, the thing with the Kushaq and the Slavia is the fact that some materials inside the cabin have a tendency to squeak around. Now that is not the case with the Taigun and the Virtus. The quality is slightly better, but again in some places it could have been better, and there is some room for improvement for sure, because the older cars like the Polo and the Vento used to feel sturdier than these new cars. The Slavia and the Kushaq have a very different design for the dashboard, while the design of the dashboard on the Taigun and the Virtus is exactly the same. Now this is the GT variant in which I'm sitting, so you get these red colored accents on the dashboard and the door pads, and the GT variant of the Virtus also gets these aluminum finished pedals which are missing on the Slavia 1.5. Now the Kushaq and the Taigun were the first cars to be based on the MQB A0 platform, so there used to be some initial niggles, but this is the fourth car based on the same platform, so most of these issues are expected to be ironed out. The seats on the Virtus are exactly the same as the Slavia. They offer good comfort, and yes, the quality of the upholstery is okay. I think it is slightly premium on the Honda City actually, but the thing to note is that the GT variant of the Virtus gets black seats with red stitching, while on the Slavia 1.5 you get the standard dual tone seat covers. The rear seat experience of the Virtus and the Slavia is exactly the same. There is no difference in the ingress and egress, and the seats are also exactly the same apart from the different color theme. Space levels are very good inside the cabin. Knee room is more than enough. Headroom is also nice, and 3 people can sit here comfortably. The seat is a bit on the firmer side, and you get 3 adjustable headrests, and even the middle passenger gets a proper 3-point seat belt, which is a very good thing. On all these 3 cars you get Type-C USB ports. You do not get a regular USB port on any of these cars, but you do get a 12-volt charging socket. Now if we talk about the Volkswagen Taigun, well, the Taigun also has similar space levels, but ingress and egress are much easier because of the higher ride height. Now all these 3 siblings come with the exact same engine options: 1 liter TSI 3-cylinder and 1.5 liter TSI Evo 4-cylinder. Talking about the smaller engine first, that one makes 115 PS and 178 Newton meters, and on all 3 cars it is offered with a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed torque converter. Compared to any other 1 liter 3-cylinder engine, this one is actually among the better ones out there in terms of outright performance and the drivability that it offers. Refinement levels are so, it is not very smooth or refined, and on cold starts it can get quite gruffy. For day-to-day driving scenarios, you actually won't be disappointed with the 1 liter TSI at all. It offers pretty smooth drivability both in the city and out on the highways, but if you want to have some aggressive driving, you will have to push the engine a lot harder, but it will reward you with good performance, especially near the red line, and you can really enjoy stretching the legs of the car out on the empty road. In terms of efficiency, the 1 liter TSI will give around 10 to 11 in the city and probably 14-15 out on the highways, slightly lesser on the automatic, slightly more on the manual. Now the torque converter is indeed a very smooth gearbox, and in the longer run it could be more reliable than the DSG which is offered with the 1.5 liter engine, while the 6-speed manual is also a joy to use, but the clutch is a bit on the heavier side. Now talking about the 1.5 liter engine, well, that is the one I'm driving right now. This is the Virtus GT. This one makes a massive 150 PS and 250 Newton meters. Now the thing over here is that on the Virtus you get a 7-speed DSG only. There is no 1.5 manual on offer, but you get that option on the Slavia and the Taigun. This engine is a blast. It offers crazy performance. The drivability is too good, and well, this engine really knows how to make you smile. Yes, there's a very slight amount of low-end lag, and at low city speeds the DSG is a bit jerky, but find an open stretch and push the throttle and this car will go wow. In terms of efficiency also, the 1.5 TSI isn't bad at all because it has ACT, which is active cylinder technology. When you're cruising down, 2 of the cylinders shut down and thus the engine consumes less fuel. So overall I'd say both the engines are very nice. My personal pick would be the 1.5 TSI for sure, but if you want the 1.5 TSI manual, I'd say buy the Slavia and not the Taigun, because if you buy the Taigun you will lose out on a lot of features with the manual variant, and if you're paying so much you want everything, right? So if you want the manual with the 1.5 TSI engine, get the Slavia. If you want the automatic, I'd say get any of them. All of them are very nice to drive indeed. In terms of handling also, all 3 cars offer a very nice poise, and the Volkswagen Virtus feels slightly more sportier to drive than the Skoda Slavia. The Skoda Slavia has a softer ride quality. It feels very cushy over potholes. This one is a bit on the stiffer side, and the steering of the Virtus also offers slightly better communication than that of the Skoda Slavia. The Taigun is somewhere in between. It actually feels very nice to drive over bad roads, and you should actually consider the Taigun if you frequently drive over bad areas, but otherwise for normal day-to-day driving, these sedans are quite good. Braking performance is also very nice on all three cars. So yes, overall in terms of driving dynamics and performance, these three cars score really well with both the engines 1 litre TSI and 1.5 litre TSI. So which one should you buy, the Volkswagen Taigun, the Skoda Slavia or the new Volkswagen Virtus? Well, the Taigun is for people who want a slightly higher seating position, ease of ingress and egress and an SUV body style, and overall it is a good family package. The Skoda Slavia is for people who want an understated sedan which looks premium, drives well and offers good features. And the good thing about the Slavia is that the pricing is almost at par with the Kushaq. The Volkswagen Virtus carries some differentiation on the outside. It feels a bit sportier to drive as well, and the quality is also slightly better than the Slavia. The Skoda Slavia is priced from rupees 12.5 to rupees 20.89 lakh on road Mumbai. The Volkswagen Taigun is priced from rupees 13 to rupees 21.21 lakh on road Mumbai, and the Virtus over here is expected to carry a premium of approximately rupees 50,000 over the Skoda Slavia. If you ask me, my personal pick would be the Volkswagen Virtus 1.5 TSI DSG in Kurkuma yellow. That color looks dope. What would be your pick? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.